Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So in today's video I'm going to show you my Facebook ad strategy. So I saw a lot of you guys like asking me to update this, but the strategy mostly have changed, but not that much. But the changes are, even the slow changes, are very important. So I figured to this time go through everything very detailed and to show you everything. And so please make sure you watch every minute of this video, guys, and take notes on paper, like basically write down everything. If you have any question, leave it down below in the comment section or DM me ecom on my Instagram right here, and we can get to it and I can help you the best way possible. So without further ado, let's just hop onto the content. Okay guys, so here we are at my screen. So as you can see here, we are in one of my ad accounts, and I'm going to show you basically 3 of ad accounts that I'm doing this same exactly method that I'm going to teach you today. And the reason behind that is I just want to show you that everything that I'm telling you, it works, and I'm using exactly that same method. So currently I'm running 5 stores. These 3 ad accounts is for 3 of those 5 stores basically. And yeah guys, so this is basically the brand I've been running. Here we can see here from the 1st of March till now, basically we have been able to spend around 17,000 euros. It will generate and get back 62, which gives us an average ROAS of 3.5, which is pretty decent for this store. Like this 3.5 is around like 65 to 72% margins for this store, so it's not bad, you know. And here is basically another ad account that I have, guys, that I've been running since 1st January, as you can see here. And basically for the settings that I have here, attribution settings, since I'm running different attributions and I'm optimizing sometimes for value and sometimes for conversions. So basically for those of you that don't know, when you're optimizing for value optimization, you only get 7-day click. And that's basically it. You get only 7-day click, so, and that's it, yeah. And when you're optimizing for conversions, you get 7-day click or 1-day click, 1-day view, 7-day click, 1-day view. So I just let it be at this. I don't change anything else. It doesn't matter really. So you can see here we spent around almost 100,000 euros to get back 363,000 euros, which gives us average ROAS of 3.9, almost 4 ROAS for this store, which is basically almost 70 to 80% profit margins. I don't really know, since I'm not really good with numbers, guys, but that's around that. And you can see here the spend that we have here. I'm going to refresh the screen here as well. So this was the second one that I've been doing for a couple of months now. It's not only 1 month that you say, okay, first month we got lucky, second month we got lucky, third month we got, it's just happening on and on. And you can see here's the proof, and here's basically the second ad account. So let's just hop on the third one. So guys, on the third one, you can see here, I'm just going to refresh the numbers one more time. So you can see here we spent around 33,000 euros to get back almost 500,000 in euros, guys. And keep in mind that for this store, we are doing influencer marketing mostly, and sometimes Facebook ads. So with Facebook ads, we just retarget them. That's why we have such a great results since 1st January. But yeah, all of these 3 stores that you see here, they are branded stores, are not dropshipping. And for this store, basically here right now, I have all of my ads turned off because we don't have inventory. So we're currently waiting on that. We got sold out like within like 3 days, guys. So yeah, we're just trying to come back from that. Okay guys, so with all that shown now, let's get on to it. Let me talk about how I set up basically my columns, how I see the data, how I read the data, how I make my decisions. I'm going to tell you and teach you basically my scaling method, my testing method, and everything. So without further ado, let's just hop on it. So guys, here you can see here how I set up everything. Basically we have the campaign, and then we have CPC, which is cost per link click, CPM, cost per 1,000 impressions, right? And then we have the impressions, and after the impressions I have 3-second video plays. So impressions, basically what it means is when someone just scrolls down like in the feed and they just see your ad, and that counts as an impression, right? So here you want to, by having impression and 3-second video plays after each other, you want to know that if your thumbnail is working, because basically people are scrolling in the feed and you have just 3 seconds to get their attention, right? So when you're doing that, when you have a good thumbnail and your thumbnail is eye-catching, they're going to click on the video and basically play the first 3 seconds of it. So for me, my thumbnail is pretty decent, and that's why you can see here we have around 1 million impressions, and of those 1 million, more than half of it have clicked on the video, which means that the thumbnail is very good and grabs the user's attention, right? And from there we can see here that from those almost 500,000 people that click on the video, around 100,000 people went on watching the video through 50% of it. So I have to make sure that at least from 50,000 this gets like around to 2,000, so like the video is more interesting. And basically you can add 3-second video plays, and then after that you can have 25-second video views. So you can see like from 50,000 how much drop is to 25%. So for example, if you see like too much drop between 3-second video views and 25% video views, you know that there is somewhere between like second at the beginning of it to like second 10 or 12, depending on how long your video is, there's a problem there. So for example, in one of my cases, I saw that the ad was like getting tons of 3-second video plays, right? So video plays was, for example, we said it was around 500,000, but my 25% video plays was around like 100,000 only. I was like, okay, this is not good. So what is it that make people like just stop watching the video? But after that, I saw that I had too much drop from 3-second to 25-second, right? But from 25-second to 50% video viewers, I had like 100,000 25% and 50,000, and I'm sorry guys, I get like, I said like I have 100,000 25%, and of those 100,000 I have almost 80,000 that have watched 50% of the video. So what it shows me here is like at the beginning of the video suck, but if people like stick to it, the rest of the video like really resonate with them because they don't leave it. So they almost all of them continue to watch the video, so you know which scenes in the video you can change, and this helps you with the winning creative to know what resonates with your audience, right? So this is a big tip for me. If you want to know like what creative is working and what kind of resonates more with the audience, besides looking at the, like CPC, CPM or cost per content, which I'm going to go through later on the video, you can have a look at here and see like basically, okay, the video is winning, right? It gets purchases, but how I can improve it, and by how you can do that is looking at here and say like between which step of the process you have the most of the drop off, right? So you can see here, for example, from 50% to 95%, I have around 100,000 here and almost 25,000 here, so it's less than half, right? So I have to see like how I can improve this process. And guys, this was basically much less. I improved it and it got to this level. I'm trying to still to this day improve this, but it requires a lot of testing, lots of budget, you know, to order more creatives, get more UGC, and basically trying to improvise, right? So the goal is to make this 50,000, so it gets like more relatable from 50% of the video to 95%. So for half of in the middle of the video to end of it, it should be more relatable, so people stick to it and watch more of it, right? And this is basically here what you have here is your video average play time, so how long customers, prospects play your video. So for example, all of my videos are 30 to 35 seconds long, so if they watch 10 seconds of it, that's pretty decent, so that's very good. And Facebook likes that as well, so if more people watch longer on your videos, Facebook going to promote it basically more, right? So, and here we have unique CTR also. What does this mean is how many people click on the ad to make it full screen and to watch the video. This is what unique CTR click-through rate means. And unique CTR link click-through rate, it means that how many people have clicked on your link or shop now button after watching your video. So if you have a big drop from here, for example, if you're having like around like 5%, which is very good for a high ticket product, if you have this here and here you have like around 2%, that means something is wrong. Like the video, they say like they find video very engaging, but if you have a problem here, that means that your call to action basically sucks. So you have to make sure that you have a demanding call to action, because people like to because you have to tell people what to do, otherwise they won't do it. So for example, if you are showing the ad, you have a good offering and everything, if you don't do the call to action, they just don't act. They don't know, okay, should I buy now? So you have to tell them. People like to be told like what they need to be do. So this is one tip, guys. So you have to make sure your call to action is very good, and how you can do that is by testing. If you don't have the budget, you always listen to what I'm saying, which is find someone else that is doing it with the same product currently in the top 5 countries, bring the same method in the European countries and scale it, guys. So, and when you have a competitor that always is doing it, you know how or what they are doing in their call to action, what they're saying, you can just replicate the process and do it in the best and easiest way. And after this, you have content view and basically how many people have went to your website, but these aren't lately accurate, right? Facebook is missing all the time. And you can have content view, cost per content view, add to cart, cost per add to cart, initiate checkout, cost per initiate checkout, and purchase and cost per purchase. And at the end, you can have the amount spent and basically all of that, right? Me, most of the time, since I have optimized pixel and I know my KPIs, I usually judge how good the content is by cost per content view. If this is inaccurate and I'm at the start, I will judge it by cost per link click and CPMs, and basically the method that I teach you here to see like which creative works the best. I don't never judge a creative by having a purchase. We can have like 2 creative, one of them have got 1 purchase, but basically the CPC is on roof, the click-through rate is very bad, so you can see that you got that purchase basically by luck. And we have another creative which basically don't have any purchase with the same amount spent, but the CPC and other things look very decent. So that's the winning creative, not the one that got purchased. So you guys have to keep that in mind. Okay guys, so here we are. I thought it's the best way to like show you everything in here to get like just a better grasp of it. So basically the first question that I get is, what should my budget be for the testing basically? So here we say if we are testing here, I always guys test with ABO. So ABO is the best way to test. For me at least, I have tested with CBO. Sometimes I do it with ABO. ABO through, for me, I get the best results, but I have to say that results may vary from ad account to ad account, and different ad account you get different results. So I always have to test your way through, right? So the budget that you give, it depends on your cost for the product that you're selling on your store, right? So for example, if you're selling it for $29.99, the budget should be at least around $12 to $13 to $15. You can put more budget if you want to. If you want to test faster, you can put more budget, but usually for me, I just put like $50 a day, depending on, you know, like the product price. If you say like the product price is less than $35, I just put around to $50 a day on spend to see like what happens. Because like if you put it like more budget, for example, we say like you say okay, I'm gonna use $50 a day, right? I'm gonna use $50 a day and use it for 3 days, and this is basically going to take too much time for me, so I just want to do it in 1 day, so I just do like $50 in 1 day. But you have to keep that in mind that when days passes, like Facebook tries to optimize it, right? And when you optimize it, you get to seen by different people throughout the day, right? So basically you are doing it in 1 day, you don't give yourself that much of a chance. And I have tried this, so for me the best way have worked, that is just I tested in 2 to 3 days the interest to see how it works. But if I have more pixel data, I know my KPIs, like for example cost per add to cart, cost per content view, cost per initiate checkout, which I'm going to explain to you further down the line, I will make my decisions faster. But at the beginning when you're testing, this is the basically the best way for you to do it, right? So guys, with ABO, I will start with 10 interests at the beginning. You can do it with 5, that's really up to you. But for example, if you say 1 2 3 4 5, right? We have 5 interests, and all of them we have a different interest here, different interests, and we have like, we can name this 1, we can name this 2, we can name this 3, we can name this 4, and we can name this 5, right? So we can have this like this here. Just let me make this bigger. Yeah, so we can have it like this, guys. And basically in each interest that you're doing, make sure that you have at least 3 creatives, right? So you have 3 1 here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, and 3 here. At the beginning, I know it's hard to find videos, that's why I'm telling you, find someone like someone that is just selling it and they have at least 60 to 90 active ads, so you can just test your way with the creatives that they have. And by any chance, if they have more than 100 ads or basically more than 90 ads, it means they have already optimized it and they're currently scaling a little bit. So you can just take the ads that are optimized and start right off the bat with that, and that's going to help you too much at the beginning when you're starting with fucking sorry guys, I'm using an F-bomb here. So basically when you start with the Facebook, you don't have the data and you don't want to lose that much of a money, right? And as a beginner, I understand you don't want to like lose that much of money, you don't have that much of a money, so whatever the reason is. So if you're using someone else creative, you can optimize and you get your pixel season much faster, right? And you can start to get money and scale your business much faster, which is good for everybody. So 3 creatives, right? They don't need to be different angles, guys. You can just do it, just 3 creatives, 3 different variations of the same video. Nobody cares about the angle at the beginning, because you have to sell it first at that angle, like in order to get sold out, right? And in order to get out and you get saturated, then you choose another angle. But basically, if the product is a problem solver, you can just go with it. So basically here will be 3 different creatives, same copy. You can do same copy. Ad copy usually doesn't really matter, guys, trust me. Ad copy really doesn't really matter. And so you use the same ad copy, different creatives here, and in each interest, guys, here you will choose manual targeting. So all of these will be manual, not automatic. Why? Because you don't know, Pixel don't know who's your audience, and you're going to just let Pixel decide. So automatic placement, CBOs usually works when Pixel have already data, so you just let Facebook do everything, right? And everything gets good, you know, everything is perfect. So basically Facebook will do everything here for you. But at the beginning, when you don't have a data, it's going to be hard for you, right? So what you will doing here is you will come here, you will choose manual placement, Facebook and Instagram feed on mobile only, right? So you will do that in order to just show Facebook, okay, you spend this much of money on here, in order to see like which one works or which one doesn't work. So guys, I'm just going to show you right now what you're going to do when you're trying to target for testing, right? You're trying to test to see if the product works, basically. So you will come here, you will choose your pixel, you will choose conversions, purchase, right? You will not do anything here. Basically the budget, you will choose the budget, and basically you can see here I have 15 euros 0.29 cents. I don't want whatever rupees or whatever you call it, right? So 29, what does it mean? Everybody that is advertising, they're using $50 a day, $20 a day, right? They're doing 280, they're doing 30, they're doing all that stuff. So when you're doing $20, everybody else is doing $20, right? So you're going to compete for that interest with another advertiser. But for example, if you put extra 10 here or 29 cents, you're going to win over everybody that used the $20 budget or 20 euro budget. So you're going to win the auction. So this is a small tip for you that they can make a huge difference, guys, in auction. So your ads going to be seen more for less money, right? And then you will choose the date basically, and after that you will come here, you will choose the country, right? And then you will choose the age here, and then you will choose the gender, and targeting here you will choose the interest that you want, right? And then you scroll down below, guys. Basically you choose the language, and down below here you choose the placement, manual, mobile, Facebook and Instagram, and only these 2 at the beginning, because you're trying to test and see if the product works, right? And after that we will come down here. If you want to make your targeting more accurate, and this is and like spend the most of the amount of money like in the right place, you can just come here and tick this only when connected to Wi-Fi. So you just tell Facebook to show your ads to the people that are connected to the Wi-Fi, because I can basically be on a bus, be on Facebook or Instagram just trying to watch some memes, and Facebook going to spend your money to show your ads to me on a bus, which I'm not really interested in, right? So you don't want to do that. So after that, this is basically the step you will do here, guys. And this is the creative level that you will put, and this is a campaign level. For example, AB or prospecting 1.22. so for example, say like on this date this was launched, right? And the creative C1, C2, C3, C4, this is mostly for you in order to navigate, right, to make everything an easier process. Okay guys, so with that being shown, you will test these for basically 3 days. If you have a KPIs, as I said, you need less than that, but more on that later. So you will test it for 3 days, right? If you're like breaking even or you're profitable, let it be. But if you're not profitable, you just basically turn it off. That's simple. But for example, if we say like this, that interest 3 work for you, so you will take interest 3 in the same ABO campaign, right? And then you will duplicate it up to 5 times, and then each time that you're duplicating it, you're just changing the interest tree, and you just click on suggested, right? Suggested interest on Facebook, and then you will choose the suggested interest related to the interest tree, right? And then you will duplicate that 5 times into your prospecting campaigns, and you will launch it for the next day on 3 a.m. So for example, if the date is like Monday, you will launch it for Tuesday or like Monday, basically at late at night around 3 a.m, which will be day after, right? So you launch it for that. 5 interests in order to find more winning interest, and for the interest that you have already found and try to scale, right? The interest number 3 here, this one that you have found, you will take this one more time and you will take it to a CBO, right? And you will duplicate this interest 3 times, right, into this CBO. Okay, so I know some people say 5 times, but at the moment, in the beginning, when you're trying to scale, your ad limit for page is going to be 250 ads, and trust me guys, when you're going to scale, that 250 going to be like full in like 1 week. So you're going to need more ad space, right? So you don't duplicate it I don't duplicate it 5 times anymore, because I need more ad space. So I just duplicate it 3 times until you spend like around 100k on the page within month, and then you will get limited up to 1000 ads per month, 1000 ads basically per page. So you will duplicate it, and the budget that I usually give for this, I start at 120 euros. So I just let like 120.29 for example. So I always add that extra thing in order to win the auction, right? So then I will let this campaign run, and most of the time they get good results within the day, because this is a winning creative, right? They got a couple of purchases, we're only spending $15, but sometimes it doesn't, and even it does, I don't turn it off. So for example, we say the first day gone and it spent around 120 euros and it got back like 50 bucks or something like that. So this is basically losing, right? But CBOs work usually best when you let them optimize and just let them be. They will optimize for you and it will happen. So if the method was good, right, you read all of the columns and you see basically this creative. When you're trying to sit with other creatives, this creative works the best way. So this interest and creative going to work the best way. So basically you're going to scale it into a CBO, duplicate it 3 times, give it the budget, and just please let it optimize and sit back. At the beginning I did not know this, because when I was launching and at the beginning it didn't have good result, I was just panicking and turning off because I don't want to lose money, and that's why I couldn't scale like past 2.2 ROAS, 2.4 ROAS, because I was just too scared, you know. And yeah, the profit margin was 20 to 25-30%, and as you know, it was hard as well. So yeah guys, please learn from my mistakes and don't do this. In interest testing, you could, like before iOS 14, you could just use your purchase 1% and just test your interest with them. Since your pixel is like very seasoned, right, you have winning interest, you can test it with different things. But at the moment, like for myself, like I get like lots of purchases and pixel like getting all of that, but when I'm trying to make a lookalikes for that, purchases get to like 2,000 to 3,000 people, which is like basically much more than that, right? But Facebook is not capturing everything, which is ridiculous. And sorry again, so which makes it like the interests and lookalikes doesn't work that much, but still interest to this day works for me. And for these 3 ad accounts that I showed you, I barely use lookalikes anymore because it's not working. Like I'm testing lookalikes every week, like same campaign, right, same audiences. I just remake it, test like if it works. I test it each month, every 2 weeks. I mix the lookalikes, like I do 1 to 10% sometimes, like 1 to 10% directly lookalike website visitors, 1 to 10% purchases, 1 to 10% view content, 1 to 10% niche checkout. I test everything, right? I test like 2 to 4%, 4 to 6%. I test all of it. I mix everything, but like it works, but it doesn't give you the results that I want. Like basically giving like 60 to 70% margins, but still you can get a decent 2.2 ROAS out of it, right? But it's not good as it was used to be because iOS is not tracking everything. I saw regarding some of you that was like always asking me like the interests are gone, some of the interests are gone. So for those interests, I really didn't see any difference. It wasn't an interest that I was using, but yeah, that was it. And basically for now I'm going to show you how you can see the winning creative, right? So creative, you're going basically at the beginning, as I said, we were using like purchase, right, 1% in order to test the winning creatives, right? Winning creatives. Okay, so but right now 1% is not working, so what should we do? So usually for me, as I'm going to show you here, these are all my interest testing, creative testing, guys. I'm going to mix all of this. So this is my interest creative testing campaign, and you can see here these 1, 2, 3, these are same creatives, only one creative inside of them, guys. As you can see here, one creative inside of them, and with different interests. So these two are interests. This is 1% lookalikes for purchase, right? So you can see here, let me just filter for selection, right? So you can see here that this one right here got CPC of almost 2 euros with the same creative, and the CPMs is like basically on the roof, 30 euro. And you can see here I just turned it off middle of the halfway, because I just let them go and get like around 1,000 impressions by like setting up the rules on Facebook, and just Facebook will turn them off automatically after they get that 1,000 impressions, right? So you can see here this got shut down because like CPC was on the roof, so I just shut it down immediately, right? You don't need to wait for that. And this was my purchase 1%, so that shows that the data isn't relevant anymore. And these are the two interests that I was scaling with Facebook in CBOs. Like it was working for me all the time. You can see here this interest and this one, this got a CPC of 1.73 and 0.73, and you can see same, and almost the CPMs are the same here as well. And further down below we see here, you can see the click-through rate 2.37, and when we go forward you can see here the purchase conversion value, which just shows how winning these creatives are, right? So I can see here these creatives are winning, but if I did only test them with purchase, I would say like, yeah, this creative sucks because of base of the columns that we are seeing here, right? So it wasn't going to make sense. But another thing that I look at is cost per content view. So you can see here the cost per content view for this. So basically you can see is here it was around like 3 to 4 euros, and here is 1 euro, but this is still too much as well. Like usually I go for less than 70 cents or 60 cents for cost per content view if I see that creative as a winning creative. But as you can see, this was only testing. It spent around 90 euros to get 1,000 impressions here, guys. So we just make our decisions based on that, right? But let me just show you. But you can see here we have different campaigns. This is another one of the same creative. Just let me show you this here as well. So for this creative, you can see here that all of the creatives that I tested, they have 2 of the same interest. So the previous one had the 2 same interests, this one had the same as well. So check this out here. So in here, in this case, you can see the CPC 2 euro, 2 euro, 5 euro. Okay, so this 5 euro right now here, this is basically going to be covered up because I don't want to reveal the brand, right? Because I'm still doing this. So this is the interest here. So interest in this creative didn't work. So this one got like CPC of 5 euros, and purchase audience here, it got around like basically, you can see that it got around like 2 euros CPC. So this one pretty decent here, but this creative reality really sucked because the CPC of overall was more than 2, right? So this isn't good at all. It wasn't really doing it with the audience. You can see here the click-through rate was very low. Basically cost per content view was low, and everything was really bad. And with this creative I was trying to test a different angle, which really didn't work, guys. But basically, as you can see here, all we do in this campaign, let me just do this like this, just test, and you can see the cheapest my cost per link click here, which is around, yeah, basically 70 euros, right? Okay, guys, so when you find that winning creatives, you will duplicate it into your winning campaigns, right? So you will duplicate that into the campaigns that you have, and you just let it run and optimize. Because for me, as I'm advertising for European countries, it most of the times ad gets saturated after like basically a week, and it's not easy as it is in US or like top 5 countries, right? Because in Sweden, Norway and Finland, like Netherlands, all of these countries, you have basically not too much of population there, and of that not too much of a people, very little of those going to be interested in your product, right? And like they don't have like more than 2 million, 1 million when you're trying to target. And like Facebook, their like lowest interest have 1 million people in it, right? they have 200, 300 million. So basically, when you see all these people in US market scaling it to $1 million within a couple of months, it isn't really a big deal, because like it's just too much audience. And with one creative, we can scale this to 300k. But in Sweden or other countries that I'm currently advertising it, with one creative, you can just get $20,000 to $30,000 out of it with most, right? We say like Facebook is friendly, like, and like you'll have a good amount of audience there, so you will be able to generate like 20k with one creative. So you always have to test more creative, test more angles, make more creatives. It requires more budget and time, but the takeoff in the Sweden and other countries are much faster. But be able to hold it and scale it past $1 to $2 million, guys, that is just another level of advertising, right? Because you always have to test it. It requires more time, it requires more attention, it's a different language, and that's why like there isn't like that much of a people, not the same amount of doing it in the US, doing it in European countries, because that they just cannot scale it here past 100 or 200k at most, because product going to die easily because there isn't too many people, ads get saturated, and they just want to scale, right? Just duplicate with one creative. So it's not as easy as it is in US market, guys, trust me. I know US market is like, you say, yeah, it's competitor there, what are we talking about, but when you have a good creative and you're scaling it, basically no one can take over, right? You can just do it in Sweden or whatever European country it is, and when it works, you just get the profit, 10k, $10,000, and just invest it in US market and just do it there. That's going to be a good method as well, right? But guys, as you can see here, there are ad accounts. I'm going to just refresh the screens one more time here for you, so you can see none of this is basically cap. And let me just do this as well. Okay, I'll go one more time here. Okay, so with all this being verified, guys, I'm going to talk about lookalikes. So basically lookalikes, it doesn't look really good right now. So with lookalikes, as I said before, I'm not testing any lookalikes. My retargeting campaigns are even off, because like in European countries there isn't just so many people, and I'm just getting most of the people with SMS bomb or like Klaviyo, so that is not really relevant to me. But if you want to know the key to being successful in Facebook ads, guys, is mostly all the time just creative. Like the creative, guys, is the king, right? Is the king here. So creative is very important. Creative is able to I was able to generate these results, and like basically it's just creative that takes everything forward for you. So as you can see here, I have my cost per content view, and I got this, like, this is pretty accurate for me, because like I've been spending like for months now, and so this is basically average of it. But at the beginning you don't have it, and basically it doesn't make sense for you to like spend 2 months to get this in order to make decisions on ads. That's why we have the KPIs, right? So guys, as you can see here, I have the KPI here on my screen. So what we're going to do here is just, for example, if the average order value, we say it's around $43, right? We have average order value of 43, and average fees is for payment processes to take, right, 3%, and we have cost of goods of, we say, around $7, right? And we are looking for 50% profit margin, so that should give us around 3.2 ROAS. So this is the 3.2 ROAS if you want to have 50% margins, right? So you will take this, you will like just try to make it with the ad account and say, okay, in the past couple of days I had 3.8 ROAS, so this gives me around like 60% to 65-70% profit margin maybe. And you can be sure by putting that 60 here and see, okay, in order for you to have 60% margins, you have to have 4.83 ROAS, right? So basically what you're going to do here, you're going to play with it a little more. You can say, okay, what if my product price was $55? Now that drops to 4.2. What if my average order value, I took it up and my product cost went also to 6? So what now? You can see it point to 3.8, right? So you can always play with it and just try to negotiate with the supplier and just make sure you have a higher order value to get your more margins. And the blue ones, guys, you don't need to touch at the beginning because you don't have the data. And so if you don't have the data, you cannot put this because they're going to be irrelevant for you. So all you need to do is put these here But you're going to know these after 1 week of like doing ads on Shopify, and we're going to tell you average order value and cost per goods, you know that, right? And you will get cost per purchase, return on ad spend, and break even cost per purchase and return on ad spend, and the profit target for that. So your break even going to be 1.16 basically ROAS, right? And your break even cost per purchase is going to be $62. So for example, you can make decisions based on this, right, when you're testing. So when you're testing here, so for example you're testing, right, so let me just close this, sorry about that guys. So when you're testing here, for example you're testing here, and this interest have spent around, we have spent around $40 and haven't got any purchase. So you cannot be sure that that interest isn't really your winning interest, because you haven't spent your break-even cost per purchase. So if it spends more than $62 and it doesn't have a purchase, then you can turn it off, right? But this is going to cost you a lot more, and basically this is all you can do at the beginning because you don't have the data. So, and the more relevant after that one will be cost per initiate checkout. So for example, you say, okay, if Facebook spends more than $43 and I don't have one initiate checkout, then I will turn it off. And less relevant than that will be cost per add to cart. But you, for example, for cost per add to cart will be $30, right? So you could say, if it spends $30 for me and I don't have an add to cart, so I will turn it off. Yeah, you can do that. It's going to cost less for you and you're going to be more profitable, but keep that in mind that this is not really relevant of how winning that interest is, because we really don't know. You have to let the Facebook spend, and like basically in order to know if that's winning or not. So of judging of these at the beginning going to be very hard, because you don't have data and you don't want to just do that, because you just need to spend and gather data, right? So you don't really know, you are not always sure, but you are more sure on cost per initiate checkout, on cost per purchase, guys. So this is another way. And for regarding this, you will put these variables here in order to get these, and how you can get these I will show you on my Shopify store right now. Okay guys, so let me just show you this picture right around here that I took off one of the stores. So for example, what numbers should be entered here, right? So for example here, this is the first one, add to cart. You will put this 11%, 11.88, right? So I'm just going to do it meanwhile I'm telling you guys, 11.88, right? And this is for basically, this is a result for a day. So you guys have to make sure that you make it for the past 2 weeks, or how long you're running the store. The longer, the more accurate, right? So then we have here 8.68%. So we're just going to do this 8.60, come on, 68. And you can see as I'm doing, these prices are changing, right? And here we have 6.43, so 6.43, right? So you can see here now I know everything based on these prices that are not relevant to this. But like for example, if you put everything relevant, you will get your average cost, right? Okay, so now it says my break even, no profit no loss, cost per content view is $4, right? And here you will do it based on the currency of the ad account. So for example, I have €1 equals 1.32 USD. So that's on that, and you get all these prices here, guys, so you can make your decisions much faster. But these you should look at, and you should add these after like having at least 2 weeks or 1 week of data in order to have more accuracy. Okay guys, so basically I will leave this KPI as well down below. So if you wanted, please make sure that you like this video, and if the video gets more than 250 likes, I will put this down below for free for anyone to take it, guys. So please make sure you do that. Okay guys, so this was it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know down below in the comments if you like these kinds of the video, like if you want me to go through everything and just explain it to you in details. But basically this was just one piece of the cake. I can do more on Facebook, guys. Just please let me know what kind of videos you like, this kind or the ones that are more entertaining. I just try my best to deliver the best value to you guys in order for you to succeed. If you succeed, I will succeed as well. Good karma comes around, right? But this is basically it. But before I end the video, I just want to announce the last week consultation call winner, which is, so all you need to do is just message me on my Instagram with the proof of the zero profile, so we can get onto your consultation call. See you guys next time.